I saw the sun rise over the cliffs. I painted the sun.
Munch wanted to capture the energy of the sun rays, the life force. It's as if Munch visualizes the impossible. We can look at the sun without being blinded. Munch had been burnt out and had an alcohol addiction. But after a period of rehabilitation, he was in good shape. The sun was a fresh start for Munch.
I built my first outdoor studio. It was something totally different from what I have been involved in for many years.
Munch was very productive and new tendencies emerged in his works. Several of the aula's architects and officials desired a dignified decoration in a classical style, while Munch submitted sketches of nursing women and an old blind fisherman.
Many remember the resistance I faced while doing this work. And once again I had to fight with a sword at my side and bear all the expenses for the projects for 5 years.
After much back and forth, the paintings were finally displayed in 1916. Before Munch returned home, he was very busy, drinking heavily and working extensively. However, he always returned to his summer house in Åsgårdstrand. During the summer of 1904, he invited some friends to hang out at his summer house. They spent their days boxing, swimming, and lifting stones. They ate salads and lightly cooked food. Munch organized a sort of wellness camp. Did Munch want to get in shape?
After seeing a picture of myself in profile, I decided, after consolating my vanity, to spend more time stone throwing and swimming. I swim so much that webbing is growing between my fingers.
Munch was interested in a trend during that time called Vitalism. According to Vitalism, bathing in the sea was considered purifying. It was a reaction to a time of industrialized cities and decadence. Vitalism idealized living simply but well, embracing a more natural and holistic approach to life.
No longer shall interiors be painted, nor people reading, or women knitting. There should be living people who breathe, feel, suffer, and love. I will paint a series of such pictures. People should understand the sacredness of it, and they should take off their hats as they would in a church.
Munch appears as an observer. He paints people alive, vibrant and engaged in action. But what about himself?
I walked along the road with 2 friends. Then the sun went down, and the sky suddenly turned blood red.
In both despair, anxiety and the scream, we see a similar blood-red sky from the same viewpoint overlooking Oslo. In Munch's studio, he hung the 3 motifs next to each other. Perhaps he is attempting to capture anxiety from different perspectives.
I stopped leaned against a very tree near death over the deep-blue fjord, and the city lay blooded, and I stood there trembling with fear.
In the scream, it is not easy to determine what or who the figure is. And if it's not a human, maybe it's a representation of a feeling.
I felt a great infinite scream pass through nature.
While in anxiety, it is the people around with their empty gazes that trigger a sense of anxiety. But who are they? Perhaps they are those who live ordinary lives and are unaware that the world is on the brink of collapse. Munch felt that Oslo and the world were undergoing big changes. The Bohemians lived decadently, seeking pleasure through sex and intoxication, while the religious held on to their old morality. Munch's expression of existential dread in The Scream might mirror Nietzsche's concept of a crisis of meaning and the absence of divine guidance. Is the man in despair Munch himself? Or a substitute figure that is all of us, lonely and alone? We are heading towards an uncertain future with artificial intelligence, climate change, war and inflation. It is not surprising that many people experience similar emotions to those felt by Munch. Vampire was originally titled Love and Pain. What was it that caused Munch to change the title? Munch's friend, the Polish writer and occultist Stanisław Sybysewski, wrote that he saw a weak man with a vampire biting into his neck. And she will always be there. He will never be free from her pain.
The human condition is like celestial bodies. Like a star emerging from the darkness and meeting another star. And that's how a man and a woman meet. Only a few come together in a grand flame where they can both unite completely.
The woman's influence on the man was a topic that occupied Munch and was connected to his personal experiences.
Alive, I came to. As a ghost, I leave you.
Is it biting, or perhaps a kiss that we are witness to? Or is it an intimate moment of comfort and embrace? Munch enjoyed experimenting with similar motifs and themes, often creating multiple versions of the same subject. In Consolation in the Forest and Vampire in the Forest, we can see this experiment. The situation feels less threatening, and the power dynamics are more balanced.
In my art, I have tried to explain life to myself and sought to gain clarity about life's journey. I have also thought that it could help to make life clearer for others as well.
For Munch, there was no right or wrong way to paint a picture, but always new ways. This opens up for different perspectives and interpretations, where there is no absolute truth.